Um, this is good, but we got to move on to something else really quick. I'll save this. Oh God, I don't know why. It seems like whenever I switch to OBS and Twitch, everything just slows to a crawl, and I think it's because of the video encoding going on in real time. But whatever. Let's just not worry about that stuff. Let's instead make a render camera, right? So create render camera. What I'm doing right now is I again am setting up my reference, but I want to do it both ways, and I want to give you two ways for everything, but with the emphasis that there's a right way and a wrong way, or maybe an easy way and a hard way, depending on how you look at it. I'm going to let you figure that out. So, render camera, right? The right way, I mean the old way, I mean the way that will always work no matter what, is select the camera and look through it. See, I'm looking through the perspective, right? So make sure you're looking through your render camera, very important. So look through your render camera.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think you're live
Oh
on
no.
Twitch or on Discord too.
Damn it.
Also not muted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. Damn it. Wow. Sorry about that. Sorry about the echo, guys. I'm so sorry about the echo. So again, make a render camera. Look through the render camera, either under panel look through selected or perspective render camera. Make sure you're looking through the render camera. Go to view, go to image plane, import image. Just like we did with the apple, just like we did with the banana, just like we did at the beginning of class, right? Same thing. Then find your geez. Sorry, I'm looking for something I can use really quick there we go. Find your reference, finally. Now, first, your render camera has a resolution. This is going to be the same thing in your render settings here under common. So maybe it's a good idea to make your resolution, try to get close to matching the photo that you're loading in, right? So how can we see this? We click on resolution gate. And resolution gate is my current resolution, which is 960 by 540. So we can switch to something else, like, I don't know, 1024, right? And already you can see that this is correct by height. So we know, oh, 768 is actually right on the nose. So all we really have to change is the width, you know? So then 900 maybe? Yeah, it's getting slower. Let's go down to 700, 720. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing. I'm ballparking it. Oh, it's less than that. But note now that my resolution gate is now matching the image perfectly, and I can keep going down. In fact, I can hold down Control and drag. I love this trick. Control and drag in the number box until it matches. And now my resolution gate, i.e. my render, same thing by the way, matches this perfectly. Okay, cool. So now if we go back to our perspective, we're going to see that here's my render camera, and there is my image plane. And this is perfect, meaning that if I go back to my render camera, it fills up the viewport completely, and now I can start modeling. Make sure that your model, whatever the modeling is, doesn't matter what the modeling is, make sure your model is always between the camera and the reference, right? So like that, and then go back to your render camera and check, or have both open at the same time. And you start to run into problems because, here we go, like I'm starting to arrange things, right? So I would make my bed and arrange it in the room and so on and so forth. Start modeling from here. If you need to adjust your image plane, this is old school way of thinking. I feel like I gave you guys too much power when I said you could use a free image plane. So when you go to create free image plane, it does the same thing, but it's not connected to the camera. And that means it's not flat against the camera. If it's not flat against the camera, you guys found out that's a problem. We always want the image plane flat against the camera, right? But now if I start to create stuff, and sorry I don't have time to like create the bed and everything, but I could start to create models, Y to repeat the tool, you know, whatever, this is your modeling. And we go back to our render camera and we start to see how things line up. Right? And now we can turn live off, but now we can start moving things around either into your render camera or your perspective. I really suggest that you work in your perspective as often as possible. Even though you can work in both, it's better to work in your perspective. If for some reason your image plane is too close to your model, and it might be, so if your image plane is bisecting your models, like the image plane is in the middle, That's bad, right? So like maybe your your model's back here, right? Or just simply bisecting your image plane. That's crappy. We don't want that. We don't want our models going through our image plane. That's bad. So what do? I mean, obviously we can move the models, but we can't very easily move the image plane. What you can do in this case is select the image plane. It doesn't move. Note that this is broken. Oh my God, this sucks. My widget doesn't do anything. So how do we do it? What do we do? Go into the attributes. That's Control A. And in your attributes, scroll down of your image plane, we have offset. This is an X and Y. So look, X, and I'm holding down Control and dragging Y. And then look, depth is Z. So if I say 50, then it'll get closer to the camera. If I say 200, it's going to get farther from the camera. See what I mean? Just always make sure that the geometry is between the camera and the reference. And look, if I go back to my render cam, it still fills up the entirety, and I can go back to arranging or whatever, my geometry. I think that should answer the question or really kind of complete this particular demo, I hope. I could make this bed by extruding, for example. I know it's just a plane, but it's not hard to extrude, If it turns black like that, we know that we need to flip the normals. No big deal. So just object mode, go to mesh display, reverse, and I can just continue working from here. But that's the way that you should set it up. If you went to create free image plane, it's not that you did anything wrong, you didn't. You just got to make sure that your image plane, regardless of how you create it, fills up the resolution gate in your camera. That's the resolution gate button. So whether you attach the image plane to the camera or you create a free one ultimately doesn't matter as long as it fills up your resolution gate, right? And I just went over how to change the resolution gate. Go into your render settings and change your resolution gate here. Just the important part is fill up your resolution gate. There's the toggle with your reference, and then model. That way your perspective is always correct. We can turn X-ray on and continue from there. So that hopefully should answer all your questions, I hope. Does it? Or are people still like, if you're like, well, perspective's not right, you can force the perspective, right? By just simply moving your vertices around. It's okay. You're allowed to cheat however you want to cheat. You can model the perspective in too. See what I mean? So, and then just keep going. Questions? Because I think I'm almost, hey, I did that pretty fast. I was worried I'd be out of time. I guess. Yeah. Uh-oh. I don't know if this is going to Twitch. It should be. It's supposed to be. It says it is. Well, I don't know. I don't see the Twitch. I hope that recorded, but I think it did. Yeah. Well, that's the answer. Do it this way. Just to be completely clear about this, right? If I go to this image plane and delete it or hide it like that, okay, I've hidden it. Let's do it the other way just because I don't want people to be angry or upset that they created a free image plane or whatever. So go to create free image plane. It's the same thing, right? Except what's the big difference? It's not attached to the camera. Which, because it's not attached to the camera, that can get you into trouble, which you guys, I experienced firsthand, because you gotta have this image plane filling up the entire resolution gate of the render camera. And if you don't, then, well, everybody kind of experienced that problem earlier. So, sorry about that. But let's use this aquarium, for example. And, don't attach it to, well, yeah, wait, there we go. That's my perspective. Almost forgot. So this is a free image plane. I can move it anywhere with my gizmo. I can rotate it, scale it, I don't care, whatever. But the important part is, if I look through my render camera, this has got to fill up the entire view. Well, specifically the resolution gate. As long as it fills up the resolution gate through your render camera view, That's all that matters. And of course, we can push it back. Instead of using offset, I can actually just simply push it back until it's pushed back beyond my geometry. See? Then we go back to the render camera and scale it up maybe. And now I have both my geometry here between my camera and my image plane. So I don't care how you do it. Either way, doesn't matter to me, as long as your reference is flush with your render camera and fills up the resolution gate. So I'm going to stop there. Hopefully that makes sense.